Is this thing on? Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics as a lifestyle and career coach, which is how to build confidence within your career. But before we get into the facts, I did want to give a little bit of a history of my personal journey in my career for those of you who may be new here. So we're going to take it all the way back really quickly. When I started out, I wanted to be a teacher. So that was definitely what I focused on. I went to college, majored in interdisciplinary studies, and I became a teacher. Got certified in 4 through 8 generalist and also EC through 6 generalist, which is early childhood. And then I also danced, and so I got certified to teach dance for high school and middle school. So I definitely just kind of continued to get new certifications and move around within the school system, but honestly, it just was not for me at the end of the day. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to take a step away. And I started working for a company that's still in the education field because I felt like that was the direction that I had to go, because that was the direction that I started in. So I stayed at that company for 6 years. I really thought, like, this is where I'm going to work forever. I'm going to retire here. Until one day, like, it was literally like a light bulb went off in my mind. And I was like, no. I bring so much more value to the table than what they're able to give me. And so I'm gonna move on. In the midst of that, I went to grad school and I got my master's, and I started becoming interested in coaching. So started life coaching, loved it, became the career girl as my niche within the life coaching company, loved it. And I was like, you know what? I want to coach for the rest of my life, and that's what I want to do. And that is exactly what I do now. And I would not have been able to create this lifestyle for myself or have jobs that I truly enjoy and love if I did not have the confidence to know what my worth was and the knowledge to be able to take that value into a new direction, into a completely new field, even if it's something that I didn't have a ton of experience in initially. I was able to gain that experience and kind of prove myself in the coaching industry because of my confidence and my willingness to continually learn. So here we are today, and I want to talk about a few things that can help you build confidence in your career, and I'll be sharing bits and pieces of my personal story throughout today's video as well, so you can kind of see what it's like in real life and how I got from where I was to the point where I'm at today, and then hopefully to where I will be in the future as well. So the first thing is just so important in any job, even if it's a job, if it's a career, if you're studying for something, you have to pay attention. I feel like especially now, we're used to getting content in such like short, concise, and quick ways, and then we're on to the next thing. And so it's so much harder to pay attention. However, you definitely have to put forth the effort, because when you pay attention, you kind of gain insight on things that other people may have missed. And having insight in the career world is extremely helpful, because you are going to know how to show up in a room and how to present yourself in the best way so that you can also continue to gain something from the relationship that you have with your employer, or ideally a future employer as well. So that could be a wide range of things, from paying attention to the information that they have on their website to speaking with current employees and kind of asking them questions, but also noticing their responses and how they craft them. You can definitely tell a lot if someone is like trying to choose their words very carefully. Then that may mean that you need to do further research to determine if this is going to be a good fit for you. But paying attention is really going to be extremely beneficial. So always just clear your mind, take notes, write things down, and try to pay as close of attention as possible in all scenarios regarding your career. One way that I did this, I actually skipped a part of my career journey. So before I started coaching, I did work in educational leadership as well. And when I was in that role, I didn't only pay attention to my role, my responsibilities, my position. I paid attention to everyone else's on the team as well. So I had a really good understanding of how we were all supposed to work together and support one another. And so if someone had to be out, I was able to fill in, which then also expands my skill set and my value within the company, simply because I paid attention and was able to deliver for numerous roles. You also have to make sure that you study. So even when you get into your career, you have to continue to be a lifelong learner. So whether that's professional development, reading books on your field or your industry, anything that's going to help you sharpen your craft, make sure that you are setting aside time to study and to continue to develop your mind and learn as much as you can about certain topics that pertain to the career that you want or for the growth that you want as well. If there's somewhere that you want to be, that's knowledge that you already need to have as you are taking the steps and working toward that point. You can't get the knowledge once you get there because then you're starting out behind. But if you're working from the beginning to get to that final point, then that is going to definitely set you up for success because you're going to be prepared and you're going to know what you're talking about. You also have to make sure that you are willing to ask questions. It doesn't mean that you don't know. Of course, like I mentioned, you need to study, do your own research, try to gain your own knowledge, but there are some things that you just may need help on, and so it's okay to ask. And I recommend that you ask several different people, especially if it's within like a startup company or a company that's going through a transition. You want to make sure that everyone is on the same page and that you have the understanding that you need to have in order to continue moving forward. So ask questions, ask multiple people. If the answer isn't clear, ask for clarity, take notes, add dates, document. I really think this is an important part as well throughout the career process is documentation. If I have a conversation with someone, especially if they are in a superior position and they provide me with information, then I always follow up via email if that conversation did not take place via email. And I say, per our conversation, my understanding is X, Y, and Z. Please confirm that this is correct. So that way we have a full paper trail and there is never any confusion. You don't want to have any kind of back and forth or issues that are arising at work because you're focused on hopefully trying to enjoy your career and also be really good at what you do. And so if you're wrapped up in all of these other things going on, you're not going to be able to do that. So definitely just always document and check in for clarity to make sure that everyone has an equal understanding. It's also so important to always be open for feedback. Now, of course, don't let someone just say things that aren't accurate or that aren't true or try to paint you in a light that is not reality. However, if they have feedback for you that is constructive, definitely take note of it, review and assess different areas where you feel like, okay, this could be true here. How can I make an improvement? And be willing to implement that feedback and those changes into your daily operations and the tasks that you complete at work so that you can continue to grow and enhance your skills within your career. You just never know when it could come in handy because something that you got feedback on at one job or with one company in one industry could be so helpful for you down the road as you venture into different positions or even into different industries like I chose to do. I even think about this in relation to my YouTube channel. One of the things at one of my jobs that I got feedback on from a manager was that I need to be clear with my branding. I always just like to decorate things, and sometimes I want rainbows, sometimes I want a purple hue, sometimes I want to focus on pinks. But while that's great and fun, at the end of the day, my materials that I created needed to be branded to match the company. And now I'll watch different YouTube videos and where people are giving advice for new creators and they're saying like, hey, check your branding, make sure everything is aligned. And I'm like, oh, that's not even something that I have to worry about because I got that feedback years ago in my career. I took it with me. So when I started my YouTube channel, I made sure that my branding was consistent across the board already. And so now I don't have to go back and shift and change to make it cohesive for my community because I took that feedback and I implemented it in different areas of my career. It's also very important that you make sure that you keep track, especially if you are going to be switching jobs or applying for a promotion. You need to have specific details about what you do. We want to see numbers, give me statistics, share percentages, really dive in and provide information that is going to be helpful for you standing out as the best candidate. So if you're just saying, oh, here are the things that I did every day, that's great. but a lot of people did very similar things every day. So what did you do to kind of set yourself apart and to elevate and to add value to the company? That's what people want to know, and that's what they want to hear about. It can be really hard to think back over a 10-year career of all the things that you've done when you're ready to move into a new position. But every year, keep track, make a little portfolio of the biggest accomplishments that you had, projects that you've worked on, any praise or recognition that you have received throughout that time. And that way you've got your portfolio, you're ready, and you can come with receipts as needed in order to verify how excellent you are in certain areas and why you deserve the promotion or why you deserve to move into the new job or a new field, because you have kept track. It's so important. You don't want to have to scramble and think about those things. So always make sure that you have that ready. And finally, it is so important to celebrate yourself, which I always say, and also to share your achievements. So I think LinkedIn is a fantastic tool for professional networking. So as you do new things, as you work on new projects, as you support in different ways, definitely share out about that. Toot your own horn sometimes, of course you don't want to just get out of control where they're like, okay, this person is very focused on themselves. But also if you do great things, you should be able to celebrate that and share that with others, which again adds to the impact that you can make for a company and the value that you can bring. So those are a few things that I feel have worked for me throughout my career journey. And as a career coach, these are also some tips that I like to share with people who are either trying to get new careers, trying to elevate or get promotions within their current companies or in their industries, or just want to continue to learn and be the best professional that they can be. And having that information is going to make you feel even more confident overall, because you've got this, you know what you're doing, and you can present yourself in a way that is going to help you shine and make you feel even more confident as you continue along your career journey. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Affirmations with Amber.